You know what I mean? In the middle of that ring, because those guys are serious at what they do. Now they're going out and they're performing. I mean, we know what it is. It's a performance. And normally, promoters pay, $300, $400, $500. What are these guys going to do at the end of the night when the promoter comes to them and say, here you go, here your payoff? For going out there and having that, 10, 15-minute match.
Well, I mean, they know I'm sure they know what they're going to get paid before they go in.
Sometimes, promoters, they tell you you're going to get paid at the beginning of the show and at the end of the show. Wait a minute. But you got to go on out the back door with all of the money, and you left with nothing. You know what I mean?
You made that drive for a hot dog and a handshake, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think that they know what they're going to get paid. And the thing about it is at the end of the day, wrestling is a what? It's a promotion. So you have to promote things that people are going to say, I got to see this, right? When you heard back in the day of Kamala, the Ugandan giant, who came out with a head shrinker, Kim Chi, you're like, I got to see this. When you hear that The Undertaker is a wrestling zombie, you're like, I got to see this.
Yeah.
When you hear that Booker T's coming out, not of retirement, but coming out for a fight against Rex Andrews, you're like, I got to see this.
I want to see it. Yeah.
So Frank Mir, who is a legitimate UFC heavyweight champion, former heavyweight champion, currently still an MMA fighter, fighting a former NWA heavyweight champion or NWA champion in Dan Severn. There's interest here. Dan Severn, one of the founders of the UFC. He was what the company was built upon, right? Frank Mir beat Brock Lesnar in 90 seconds. There's some promotion there. You hear me? And when there's promotion, that means there's money.
Yeah.
And if enough people want to see it, that's long, green ducats.
I'm looking at you, man. You don't even believe that.
Yes, I
do. No, my thing is...
Don't hate on me. Here's the thing. Do you want to see this match?
Between Severn and Mir?
Yeah.
In a wrestling match?
Yeah.
No.
It's not interesting to you at all.
No, it's not.
There's no novelty to it.
No, it's not.
Well, why do you think that they sometimes, WWE would have like Lawrence Taylor in a wrestling match? Because it's like, that's interesting. I want to see LT wrestle. I want to see Floyd Mayweather fight The Big Show. Sometimes there's that outsider, hey, I'm an MMA fan. These guys are wrestling. I'm interested. You got my money.
No, but my thing is, we both know these guys, like I say, they're fighters. They're real, they come from, mixed martial arts. So to see these two guys that, we've seen go out and do, they've done for so many years, it's just not going to be right to see them in a wrestling match. With collar and elbow, top wrist lock, and, shoot the guy off, duck the clothesline.
But is that going to be the match? Or is it going to be presented in a shoot style psychology? You know what I mean? Are they going to
like a real MMA fight?
Like an MMA fight.
An MMA fight where they're going to go out and,
I feel like you're belittling my point here. But I as a fan, I'm looking as a fan. As a fan, would I buy it if it was the main event of a pay-per-view? No. But if it was on the card, I would say...
No, this is it. I think this is the big deal. This is the main event.
Okay, I'm just saying, if it was part of the card, like if it was on WrestleMania or on something like that,
I'm telling you right now.
It's the main event.
If you're going to buy it, I'm telling you what the deal is.
It's the main event.
It's the main event. It's the draw. These two guys in a wrestling match, they're coming back. Dan Severn, the Beast, at 64 years old, taking on Frank Mir at 39 years old in an extravaganza blood sport. Come check it out on Fight. Would you come check that out if it was
I'm
promoted?
interested in seeing it. I don't know if I would pay $50 to see it as the main event. But if it was a part of a larger card and it was on there, and it wasn't, I'm not saying it needs to be the steak and the sizzle.
Okay, wait a minute.
It can be the opening salad, and I'm happy to watch it. It can be the calamari appetizer.
See, that's the thing, man. I don't, stay in your lane, bro. You ever seen that commercial where the guy's doing the tattoos and he's, guys, asking questions, man, he's like, stay in your lane, bro. Take nothing away from these guys, man. Everybody needs some money in their pocket.
Right.
I totally understand that. Ducats is something that everyone needs.
You need the ducats.
Yeah, but
to
see these guys go and, out and have a match, a wrestling match, I just don't get it, man. I just don't get it. I don't see it. And I'll check it out when it come on YouTube. And I can almost guarantee you this. Take nothing away from either one of these guys, including Josh Barnett, because Josh Barnett, I've rode with this guy. I've hung out with him in Japan,
and he's been doing, I think, the commentary for New Japan.
As well as he's been in the wrestling business for years.
Yeah.
He's been a catch guy, for many, many years. So I respect these guys, man. But I can almost guarantee you, this will probably be the last Bloodsport fight we're going to see between two guys.
Well, I mean, this isn't something that you would do on a regular basis, but every now and then it's an attraction match. You talk about that sometimes, having a special attraction. This is a special attraction.
I mean, but I try to run shows every month as well. You know what I mean? I'm trying to.
Well, I'm saying not every month you have a special attraction, but I mean, I see where you're coming from. Don't get me wrong, but I can also understand the appeal, especially to somebody who is an MMA fan. Oh, I'm seeing two guys in a different arena. That's what I mean. What do you think the appeal was to see CM Punk in the octagon? Let's see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, hey, man, that's totally different. We know what's going to happen in this. They're going to talk about it.
Well, we don't know who's going to win.
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out.
Somebody knows.
Hey, man, hey, like I said, I'm not going to throw no dirt on these guys or anything like that, but I just, I look at Frank Mir as a guy who paved the way for a whole lot of other guys. I look at Dan Severn literally as a legend, a true legend to the sport. And this is not like, Muhammad Ali going against Antonio Inoki or anything.
Well, it kind of is.
Well, I mean, you can look at it that
but
way.
it's not to that level.
I mean, you can look at it that way if you want. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to look at it because I don't want to see Dan Severn's career diminished in any way. I mean, just say for instance, if he went out there and got shot off to the ropes and tripped and broke his ankle, and the world had to see something.
I think we're having a different conversation now. The conversation isn't, can you promote two MMA guys in a wrestling ring and make it an attraction and make it something people want to see? I think you're talking about how we talk about the 40 rule in UFC.
Yeah, definitely.
You're talking about what, the 55 rule in wrestling?
I mean, wrestling is a young man's sport, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Wrestling is not a sport where you just go out and think you can just play games and have fun. Out there doing it. You can really get hurt doing this, especially if you haven't did it for many, many years, like a Dan Severn and a Frank Mir, who's never, touched the inside of the squared circle once. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking to you as a professional here, kid. I'm talking to you trying to drop some science on you, like Q-Tip with that 5 red thing, boy. Hey, we'll be back in a minute. More Hall of Fame.